and welcome back to another recovery vlog. This week has been a lot, not necessarily loud or dramatic, just heavy. I had my first therapy session, and afterwards, the only way I can describe it is that I felt numb. Not relieved, not lighter, just empty. Like everything had been stirred up and then left sitting there. I think that's something people don't really talk about with therapy. It isn't always a release. Sometimes it just opens the door to feelings you've been holding together very carefully, and then afterwards it's like you just shut down. You go numb, and that's what it was like. Then a lot of what we talked about was the panic and fear I've been experiencing lately, and I want to be very clear about this. These panic responses didn't just come out of nowhere. I guess it's the fear of systems, of being financially destroyed again by something completely outside of my control. Even speaking to an insurance company about anything, not just motor insurance, anything, now just feels overwhelming and terrifying. That's been one of the hardest things to process. So, when things feel out of control mentally, I tend to focus on things I can control. I think most people do that. This week, that looked like cleaning. And because of my son's allergies, I deep cleaned the sofa upholstery and the rug to remove any build up of dust, any pollen, anything that he could react with because he is allergic to life. I cleaned the covers with an upholstery cleaner, stripped them off, washed them properly, and then cleaned the inner cushions too with the upholstery cleaner. It takes time, but it gives me peace of mind knowing that he's less likely to react. And honestly, it makes the house smell amazing, which never hurts. Then this week, I also spent time bulk recording crochet tutorials. This is something I'm doing very intentionally. I want to stay consistent on YouTube, but I also need to protect myself from burnout, especially while I'm still injured, and I'm going to be injured for a while. So having a backlog means I can upload weekly, I'm not scrambling last minute, and I'm not pushing myself past my limits. All while trying to maintain a clean home for 4 little gremlins. So keeping content consistent and building a small business while injured is not easy, but I'm incredibly grateful to have a supportive partner who helps when he's not at work. I've also been working on some new crochet pattern designs, one of which is currently in testing. This part is really important to me. I want anything I release to actually work, to be functional, and to respect the people making it. It's being tested thoroughly before release on Etsy, Tido, Ko-fi and Patreon, because quality does matter. And finally, the big thing this week that's coming on Thursday, 15th of January. I've officially finished recording and editing the first episode of my new series. I made it so you don't have to. It was stressful. It was frustrating. Working with an AI-generated pattern that was an absolute mess tested my patience in ways I didn't expect. But it was worth it. The first episode is ready to release this Thursday. So if you're curious about AI crochet patterns, what goes wrong, what they look like, and why some of them look absolutely nothing like the photos, stay tuned. I'm genuinely excited to share this series with you. It's been fun. So yeah, this week has reminded me that healing isn't just physical. It's mental, emotional, definitely financial. And sometimes just getting through the week is the win. Thank you for being here, for watching, and giving me the space to share this honesty. And don't forget, if you're going through something tough too, you're not alone. So let's get through this together. And I'll see you next week for what happens this week, I guess. Bye.